Operation Flex Plan series. I'm your host, Adam Kingery, Solutions Advisor with Byteworks. If you're joining us from Facebook Live or YouTube, please feel free to submit questions, comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. If you caught our first installment, we covered perpetual licensing, hybrid, and cloud licensing with regards to Cisco's Collaboration Flex Plan. Today, I want to dig a little bit deeper into hybrid services. And here to help me convey that message is our resident expert, Jeremiah Plaskett. Jeremiah, let's hop right in and get to it. What are hybrid services and what does all this mean for us?
Thanks, Adam. So hybrid services are a way for you to, if you're on the Flex plan, obviously perpetual licensing is going away, as Adam mentioned. And so hybrid services are services that allow you to start to go to the cloud at a pace that makes sense for your company. Now, hybrid services aren't new. I've got a diagram here, Adam, and this up here shows the traditional Cisco UC environment that's on premises. So you've got call control here, you've got voicemail, you've got all your video conferencing equipment and bridging, and all of this is on premises. And the original hybrid services in the Cisco world was things like mobile and remote access and business-to-business communication through the Cisco Expressway, which was a secure way for your on-premises environment to communicate with through the VP or without VPN access to things out in the internet. So that started to allow Jabber, for example, on your soft phones and devices to work without having to first be on VPN. And it does it through a completely encrypted and secure way. And so those were the original hybrid services. Down here, you'll notice that some of these hybrid services still exist, but you start seeing things go away. Voicemails has gone away. Call control's gone away. Video bridging's gone away because those services have now migrated to the cloud. And so that's really what hybrid services are. Some examples of hybrid services could be hybrid directory connector, for example, and that allows you to configure users in your traditional on-premises environment and then have it automatically provisioning services, call control, voicemail, et cetera, in the cloud. And so hybrid services really, in a nutshell, Adam, is a way for you to take what was on premises and slowly start to move things to the cloud. And even if you're in an environment, because let's be frank, going to the cloud is not what every company needs. Every company has their own business objectives and their own requirements to where it doesn't always make sense to take everything to the cloud. So you can have hybrid services exist still in an on-premises environment and only take certain things to the cloud, or you can go full cloud and still leverage things on premises such as PSTN, for example. I mean, that's a big thing for a lot of companies. They don't want to necessarily go to the cloud because they are in these huge PSTN circuit contracts, or they really are happy with their provider, or they want to control those circuits. You can keep those things on premises, and then with hybrid services, actually still have voice service in the cloud while leveraging your local PSTN circuits. So really, in a nutshell, Adam, that's what hybrid services allows you to do. That's the flexibility that it gives you.
That's fantastic. So I'm just looking at your diagram, and in the blue icons at the top, the gray ones at the bottom, and in listening to you, it sounds like I can still leverage what I need to on premises today to my comfort level, right? Because I think a lot of customers are scared of taking everything completely to the cloud, and I don't blame them, right? There's some risk associated with that. So, to your point, maybe taking some high value services that are, business differentiators to the cloud first, taking advantage of things like WebEx, right? Which is already in the cloud and cloud-based, and you would manage through WebEx Control Hub and starting to add more things to that Control Hub, for lack of a better, right? So maybe video conferencing is something that you add to that, or maybe contact center is something that you add to that are very high value things to the business that really differentiate you from other, cities, counties, schools, enterprise type of accounts, and really make yourself look better in the process while being able to not have to buy those $100,000 video bridging units, media recording servers, and all these other things that are required on premises. Is there any other advantage, Jeremiah, to the ease of setting these types of services up, like contact center or video conferencing in the cloud versus having to do that kind of stuff on premise? I know you mentioned, email calendaring tie-ins and stuff like that. Can you talk just real briefly about maybe some
Sure.
advantages there?
Absolutely. So, that's one of the great things about that the cloud gives you is administratively, it makes things so much easier to turn up. Kind of what you mentioned, one of the things we do with a lot of clients is the clients that have these full on-prem infrastructures is we'll pick and choose and take them piece by piece. And a really good start, for example, is video. You mentioned it, all this expensive bridging equipment, it's a lot of hardware and it takes a lot to stand those sort of services up. But in the cloud, it's easy. You could, and what we've done with a lot of clients is the first thing we'll do is we'll take video conferencing to the cloud. So these would go away and you keep call control and voicemail and everything on premises. And you move those bridging services to the cloud, and you can easily turn those up and even start a trial of it right away. Like within one day, we can have a full-blown trial with cloud-registered endpoints set up. And the great thing about the cloud-registered endpoints, that's where the hybrid services come in. So let's say, for example, you just kept this all on-prem and you only took video to the cloud. Then you would start registering your actual video endpoints and codecs, Cisco video conferencing equipment that's traditionally you register to your local equipment. You would instead register it to the cloud and then use hybrid calling services, for example, so that you can still leverage that on-premises call control and PSTN, although the video device is actually registered and managed through the WebEx Control Hub. And so that would be the first approach with a lot of customers. We'll take just their video to the cloud. And next, once they're comfortable with that, they might take messaging to the cloud and move from Jabber to WebEx Teams. After they're comfortable with that, they may, finally take their contact center to the cloud. Even before they take the rest of their calling, it's super easy to fire up contact center in the cloud. And the WebEx Contact Center is a unbelievably comprehensive and flexible offering. And then maybe the last thing that they do is they want to take the rest of their calling to the cloud. And of course, they don't have to take all those to the cloud. For some environments, it's important to remain on premises for security reasons or compliance reasons or whatever vertical you're in. There might be reasons where certain things need to stay on premises. But for those clients that want to go to the cloud, that's what this UC Flex licensing does. It gives you the capabilities with hybrid services to pick and choose what needs to stay on premises and what makes sense to goes to the cloud, all in a easy to understand pricing model and licensing model.
I think that's really fantastic because I think that's what most customers want. They want the flexibility to pick and choose what they put where and when. And this model allows you to, maybe start today and for say, add 15 or 20 video endpoints that register to the cloud and you leverage hybrid services back on-prem and local PSTN and whatnot. But maybe in 6 months or 12 months, I want to add 15 or 20 more. At that point, you could just modify your subscription and go there, right? And it's real simple because everything else is already set up, tied back in and integrated.
You nailed it, Adam. Let's say, you start out with the Flex model and you're on premises, the UC Flex licensing. And so you've kept all this on premises. And then you say, hey, I want to take my meetings to the cloud. And then we just basically modify your subscription and it would prorate and move that portion of it to the cloud while the rest of it stays on premises. So it really and that would just modify for the life of that term. And it really makes it easier to consume and use Cisco collaboration in this model.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a pay-as-you-grow model, right? So rather than paying for everything up front and rolling it out over time, now you can pay for just what you need up front. And then over time, you can add to that subscription and grow it as it makes it easier to train the trainer and the following in the process. Along that lines, I think it's valuable for customers to know that a lot of these services that you can deliver via hybrid are available that you can try out before actually having to go down that path. And that's one of the things that Byteworks can help set up in the process are some of those trials. So, video, for example, Jeremiah, you mentioned video. If a customer wanted to try out like, a WebEx room kit, or if they wanted to try out a WebEx desk or something like that, as many people these days are working from home, it wouldn't be that difficult to, trial out a video unit, send them home, try out some of these hybrid services, and really help them get comfortable with it to see if they can make it work for their environment.
That's absolutely correct. We can have trials set up for many of the WebEx services, from WebEx calling to WebEx meetings, et cetera, within a day. And you can, and then have video devices delivered to you within 2 weeks, so that you can start having those devices, getting them registered in the cloud, and then firing up a couple of those hybrid services like hybrid calling, to where you can actually leverage your on-premises PSTN through those new video registered endpoints and other services. So trials are quick and easy to set up, and Byteworks can definitely help you all do that.
That's fantastic. So I think in summary, what we wanted to make sure you understood today was what hybrid services are, what that means from an infrastructure standpoint, which I think Jeremiah put out there really well, what could go away in the future, but also let you know that you can do it with your comfort level. You can grow as you want to and leverage services as it makes sense for your business. And before trying those things out in a pay model, you can trial them out. So in our next video series installment, what I really want to focus on a little bit more are some of those endpoints that you can leverage hybrid services with. So thank you again for your time today. If you have questions, comments, please reach out to us at byteworks.com. We're also broadcasting on our LinkedIn as well. Feel free to like, comment, share, ask questions. That's what we're here for. Thank you again for your time, and we'll see you in the next installment. Thank you, Jeremiah. And thanks all for watching.
No problem. Thanks, everybody.